She's shutting up for it. She's a table.
Yeah, do you know what? I actually think as well, this generation, besides the putting in work, I genuinely feel like men and women like don't like each other.
No, they no, they do.
No,
they
do. We don't. I genuinely don't think we like each other.
Why do you think that?
Because I feel like sometimes when I hear guys talking, and even sometimes when I hear girls talking, there's a small level of hate like behind it. Like, why do you think you're on the table? Okay, why? Let's just have a conversation. Okay, you say you're the table. Tell me what the table does. Okay, it's holding everything up. And then I'm gonna now bring things because the table on its own is just a table.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing
When you go to
it.
there's tables.
If we're even talking about an analogy, it's nothing. Like what makes the table is the tablecloth. Now the cutlery, the food,
what goes on it.
Yeah. So
this is a table.
Yeah, but all of this is the extra stuff, and it's like, why? Okay, let's have that conversation. Not be like, why do you think you're the table? I'm the table, bro. And it's like it's just coming from like a piece of like like the hate. Like even like the. I don't know the full backstory of the Tion Wen and Lani thing, but like even both of them, the way they're talking, there was just too much hate, and I was like, "You guys fucked." Like at some point, you guys liked each other.
Yeah, but
why is it so like? Why are you guys so angry at each other? Why would he think he could do fraud stuff to take money from her? Like, why? I don't get that. Like, why are you not embarrassed? I don't...
Yeah, but he's moved on. He's making hits with Russ.
Run the girl the money then, before that.
Wait. I'm talking about her. I know that, but I'm saying the reason she hasn't moved on, he's moved on, he's had other girls and all the rest of it. She's seeing that constantly. It's like with normal people that ain't famous, you break up with your ex, even if you got them on Instagram, you just carry on with your life. You're not necessarily going to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
But when you're famous like these two, you're going to hear about each other very soon.
Then that means that she ain't taking accountability then.
That's it. And also...
Oh, yeah, I love it.
But the thing is, why? Okay, fine, you're seeing him around. Okay, I'm not into that type of music scene, and I don't know what... I know him, but I don't know who he's dating, what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. She could try
I don't know.
Is that him?
Yeah.
You see?
But
so I don't
I don't know.
I hear it on not Choice, what's it called? Capital.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't see that's I'm showing my age. But I just feel like she could find a way to cut it out or block it out if she wanted to.
I feel
but she doesn't. I feel she lacks attention. That from what I've seen of her.
That's what I said.
I think that she's a little bit of an attention.
Everyone's learned to monetize her trauma.
Yeah, and
that's what it is.
I don't get like there's bigger fish to fry, but I just genuinely feel like we need to put the work in. The standard needs to be working for long-term relationships, and there just needs. I just feel like women and men just need to be a bit more kinder. When I hear men talking and women talking, it's like there's a level of hate, and I'm like,
you know what? I hear what you're saying because if I look at my past relationships, when I look at the issues that was going on, there was that whole kind of chat of like, rah. Well, you've got your friends, and then you've got your... And I'm like, well, my friends want to be your friend, but you're just miserable. You're the ones there, or you're just never involved.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, in their defense, it could just be naturally they're just insecure, innit? Yeah. But because they don't want to have that conversation to deal with a problem, like we said, comfortable situations earlier, you've enabled us... They've enabled them a space for them to kind of just exist in that. So it's like, I don't want to go, why not? I'm tired. Really, you're insecure. You can go, but you don't want to go, and you're using "I'm tired" as an excuse to kind of. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So 10 years of that or 5 years of that would naturally breed hate. So I feel like the hate. What you're saying is true, in the sense of the hatefulness. But then at the same time, man and woman are still gonna mix. So what? What happens with the? Like, why is it a temporary moment?
I don't even think I actually think it's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely think... Because I feel like a lot of it, like, especially... I'm going to get up right now. But I just feel like a lot of black men, like, I just feel like
here we go.
The world is against them. And I think a lot of black women feel exactly the same. And I just don't know why we... Like, I just don't see white people acting like that.
You don't know that, they do.
I think they do, to a certain extent. But there's, like, more forgiveness. Like, when I watch certain reality shows on a white side, like, we could be dating, and then okay, we're done, and I can go and date him, and it's like we can still roll in the same circle.
It's cool,
It's cool in a white. When it's black, it's like, you ain't coming to a party. You guys must won't be friends anymore.
Yeah.
It's a madness. So I just don't know why there's like at the end of the day, if I've now broken up with you, I haven't found my happiness with you. Does that not mean why is that cut off? Like, why could I not find happiness with someone in your inner circle? I am not promoting this because I do not like inner circle dating. Yeah. I personally don't like it, but I just feel like the way white people act, I think, it just seems a little bit more forgiving, understanding, and I think black people were just in this, like, I don't know.
But do you feel like
ball of hate?
No, because I've never watched a white reality. I mean, I tried to watch Mob Wives. I think it was.
Oh no, yeah, but they're not.
That was like, I just couldn't.
Yeah.
You know, like I just like, this is time. But I feel like, what's that? She's sick of you, but Mr. Sex.
That happens.
Put your dick on the phone.
But you know what? And this is what I'm trying to explain to you. It's like, if you're still able to, because if that's the case, if it's naturally hate, when you have sex with that person, it will literally be no emotion. It will just be the practice.
I don't think it's hate. I think it's more simple than that. Everyone's dealing with something because they want something. That's all it is.
So it's an agreement. It's an exchange.
I wouldn't even say it's an exchange. Everyone goes in it from the instant thinking about what they want. You meet any woman now, yeah, and I'm telling you, because I've seen it happen with all the man them, yeah, you meet a woman and in her mind, especially if she's a driven woman, works, does whatever, maybe she's got kids, maybe she don't, whatever. In her mind, she wants you to be available for her when she's not working and doing what she's got to do. So when I finish my job, when I put my kids to bed, and I call you, you better be on the phone ready to talk to me, to feel this last bit of time before I go to my bed. And if I can't get you, what are you doing? Because she's not considering, maybe man works nights, maybe he's doing something, blah, 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 blah. And men do it as well. My woman has to cook every day and rah. Blood, she works 9 to 5. She's not coming home to cook for you, blood.
So what's wrong with that expectation?
You never heard just what I said. Look what the other person's doing.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you expecting to get fed after work when she's at work all day? Who's coming home cooking for your ass? Oh, you like that though, don't you? Yeah, you like that.
No. I'm thinking about it because that like my dad was like that, and.
But that's the point. No.
Like,
okay, I'll give you another example.
Went to work, like,
I'll give you another example.
Human,
I'll give you another example. I'll give you another example. Right now, there is somebody sending out letters, sending someone a parking fine to some car.
Hopefully it's not me.
Yeah.
To some car for some car that parked on a double yellow line or whatever. He's just doing a delivery for Amazon or whatever. And that same person sending that letter has bought something off Amazon right now. Just now. And they're looking outside thinking it's going to be there.
Yeah, okay. I see what you mean.
So you want what you want, but you're not thinking about what the person that's got to do it for you has got to go through to do it.
So then, alright then, back to...
People are selfish, fam.
Back to that then. Could it just be that we're just doing it the wrong way?
No, it's people... No, you know what it is? People are selfish by default.
Nothing wrong with being selfish.
No, there is something wrong with being selfish because so I'll tell you why there's something wrong with being selfish. When you see, I think you're getting confused with self-care or preservation or all the rest of it.
No.
When I say selfish, yeah, I'm talking about consider the other people around you. If I go shop now, yeah, and I go and buy myself a drink, I'm supposed to think, right, you want anything? If I just go there, get a drink for myself, and I don't even consider if you want anything, that is being selfish. So what I'm saying is, if you are dating somebody, or even friends, yeah, and you want that person to be available for you in the time when you're free, before you go there with a sense of entitlement, like, yeah, you should be doing this and doing that, consider why they may not have done it. Consider maybe they're tired, what else they're doing. No one's thinking like that, though. They're always thinking about what they want.
I do, yeah, okay.
And that is wrong.
Yeah, now you've explained it, I agree.
You own a house. Date a guy now and let him say, Raw, how comes you phone me? My boiler's not working. I'm dealing with this. Who the fuck wants to text you?
No,
wait,
okay.
that
doesn't work with me.
No, but the point is, you're dealing with grown woman shit.
Yeah. But for me, it's more. It's okay. So the whole timing situation.
And the dude don't have a toolbox either, so he can't help you with the boiler either.
That's a problem.
Yeah, everyone's got that.
You see, so you do get it. You do get it.
I do get it, but I think there just needs to this whole standard thing.
Selfish.
I just think you should have your own standard. What you can take, because like I have a standard. I've met my standard. I'm dealing with my standard. It's not easy because standards change.
You've been in a relationship.
Yeah, I'm married, so it's standards change because obviously we make more money. The world changes.
Standards don't change. Boilers break and washing machines break and people readjust. That's what happens.
Standards change. No, I think standards change.
Man, them standards change all the time.
And I think you have to be. Sometimes you do have to be a little bit selfish, in the sense of, like my husband now. We only, I think, are where we are now because he practically contacted me every day. And I contacted him every day. So we spoke every day. So my thing was like, okay, so I care if you're alive every day. I actually don't think it's acceptable to be dating somebody and you really like them, like you guys are in a relationship, and you don't hear from them for like 2-3 days. I don't think that's acceptable. Me personally. If that's your boyfriend, you can't not speak to me for 3 days. Do you know what can happen in 3 days? You can die.
3
days is a long time. A day, okay.
Why would you not hear from each other in 3 days?
But I feel like that happens now. I know people that are together and they're like, oh, I haven't heard from my boyfriend in like a week. I'm like,
I've heard of.
That's strange to me.
You know what I think is happening? No. You know what? You know, wait. Is this something that someone said has happened? Like, is it a boyfriend or girlfriend they've been with for years or whatever? Yeah, so they were together. I got a feeling this is some girl that just met a guy on Hinge last week. No. This is like they've been together for like a year, and they're like, oh, we don't. They're going out or they're just linking? Together, no, they're in relationship together. Like, even to a point. Together for real? Yeah, they claim each other on Instagram or something like that. Like, it's not like I don't even do that. I don't do that. You would not even know that I'm with someone. But she was like, oh, do their parents know each other? Yeah, and she's like, they don't speak every day. I was like, I find that weird.
You see what you're trying to link. I know what you're trying to link the actual behavioural patterns in terms of like how do they maneuver as people naturally to not even be in contact. Yeah, because I
hear that. But that's their their standard.
That's weird.
And that's not acceptable to me. But that's their standard. So I'm saying if that's what works for you, then make it work. But I just feel this standard right now that's out there, okay, we need to be together. As a man, you need to buy me everything. I am the table. You need to pay for everything, blah, 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 blah. And then from a man's perspective, you need to be able to cook. You need to have a 28-inch waist. You need this, you need that. And you need to be making your own money.
16.
It's 16-inch.
I would imagine the guy's asking for a smaller waist than 28.
No, 16. No, 28 is like.
Oh no, that's dress size. Isn't
it? Yeah.
28 is small. Yeah. 28 is small. 28 is small.
Yeah, 28 is like. Yeah. 16. I mean, boy.
No, I got it wrong.
Yeah.
You should be.
But it's like there's. I'm more. Oh, sorry, you were talking about dress size. Yeah, I get it now. There's like the standard is too high.
So then, really, what it is,
it's not too high. They're just selfish and they're not. This is what I'm trying to say. What people are asking for, the reason you're saying it's too high, it's not that it's high, it's just unrealistic because they're asking for something based upon what they want to receive. They're not asking what they're asking for based upon how life is. You get what I'm trying to say? So you're asking, oh, my man's got to do this or my girl's got to do this. Okay, what does your man and your girl do on a normal day-to-day for their life, just normally? You get what I'm trying to say?
I do think women should date higher though.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me.
If I'll be honest.
Why? You say higher.
No, wait.
What's higher?
I wouldn't date a poor man.
Well, what's poor though? Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Everyone.
I wouldn't date a poor man.
No,
what's poor? Benefits. What's poor? No job.
No, I wouldn't date somebody that doesn't work. No.
Oh, right. No, I'm glad you said that. Yeah. So we set a benchmark. Working.
Yeah.
You see these standards I'm talking about? I work 12 hours a day, though. 12 hours a day.
Yeah, that's long. But yeah.
No.
We're hard working, yeah.
Hold on, what's long? Wait. Think about what you just said. So 12 hours is long, yeah?
No, wait.
Would you like me to tell you how many hours that the average game designer works?
Wait, 12 straight hours? Like
a day.
Oh, wow.
Would you like me to tell you how long animators work on some of these shows that are on Netflix that you lot are watching right now? 14.
No.
Some of them in China are all committing suicide and all them thing there because of the excessive hours.
Sorry, Mr. Wong, not me, mate.
You get me? Yeah. So you know what's happening? What you see, and that's the other problem. What's being associated with working long hours is you're working on some poverty wages.
No,
Do you know? Do you know any paramedics?
Yeah, I do. But my friends are.
Do you know anyone that works for the fire brigade? I mean, the fire brigade's a bit different. They regulate their hours.
Yeah, no, my friend is a doctor. She works at 14 hours.
Anyone that works in it? So there you go.
Is she
a
married?
doctor.
With someone?
But you see,
no, she's not because of time.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, when I hear 12 hours, I'm like,
but you see how
so your free time is very limited.
No, but you see how you relate to it because it's a woman that does that job. You just told me that's a woman, right? And that's what I'm trying to say. When
I feel bad for her.
No.
So I feel the same. The way you were like 12 hours.
But when a man's doing a similar kind of thing, that's what I'm trying to say. After that, doing 12 hours a day, to hell with your text back. Man's tired.
But then, do you feel like? Do you feel? Because so for me, because this is. And
then the same woman's arguing about cooking food. Who's coming home after 12 hours? And you see, no one's thinking about what they got to give to the person, what they're asking from.
Oh, so I get what you mean in terms of the selfishness, in terms of when you're working full time and you're doing your career. At some point, when you're in a relationship, it's gonna have to be you lot's plan. And I think because no one wants to let go of what they're doing, it becomes harder. So, like for example, a woman doing 14 hours. I mean, I can only imagine because my mum used to do mad hours and sleeping in at work.
Yeah.
And I remember there was times when my dad would be at church. My dad would do nights and then go to church. And all like the other day, I was saying on Convo the other day, all like Christmas, I've all had like probably 8 or 9 Christmases where it's just been me, my brother, and my sister.
That's crazy.
Because they've all been, my dad's been working or my mum's been working. And I feel like that's the standard I'm talking about. What is the plan? I think from what you lot are saying, it come like people are not even checking no one no more. They're seeing what they're seeing and they're like, yeah, I want that. Rushing into it.
That's what I'm saying.
And they're not even looking at, because for me, like, you would have time to, like, you like, see that school times, Like, you would walk your girl home from school, you'll get on the bus, you know, ones there, you go and chill in the park, or you might, within that time, although, it seems all, at the time, it seems all fun or whatever, it's character building, but you're also learning about the person. Whereas now, it's like you go on Tinder, and you go on Hinge, and it's like, like this, like that. Hey, what you doing next week? Then the girl's like, oh, he's taking me out. Boom. Already she's got an expectation in her head. The guy's already thinking, if I take a Hakkasan, I'm going to beat. You know what's there? Like, I have to beat. It's not like I'm going to be taking you out there for any reason.
Take a Nando's with that Hakkasan.
Even certain man take a PFC, they're still looking to beat. You know what? They're still looking to beat. And when they take a PFC and they get the free combo meal, whatever it is, they're making sure, but then when they have sex, there's no, like you said, no standard because you've got into it so quickly. So I feel like, that's what I'm saying. Do you feel like we're doing it wrong in the sense of we've got to take time to, like even now, like there's a girl that I'm dating now, and it's like I'm saying to her, look, like obviously I feel it needs to be a friendship before anything.
Agreed.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Because when it's not a relationship, when you hate me after 10 years or when you don't like me, the friendship that we had or started would kick in naturally and say, well, you know what, my man's just genuinely a cool guy, or my man's... Do you see where I'm coming from? That's what I personally feel.
Cool. Like I said, I'll just go back to the same thing I said before on both sides. Like, people are just selfish. They want what they want, and they only consider what they want. They don't consider the logistics of the day-to-day from who they're asking from. I'll even give you a better example. Kids do it to their parents all the time. Mum, I want Nikes. I want Nike Vapor Max, whatever. £150 or whatever. Depends on which ones you get. Mum might not be able to afford that. So now, because you want that, and Mum wants to make you happy, because Mum knows what the streets are like, you might get...
Double hours at work.
But then later on, as you get older, you're in a rap song complaining that your mum does double shifts and shit. How dare you? You selfish git. Your mum did double shifts so you could wear friggin' the freshest garms. And then after that, you still go and do road.
It's magic.
You suck. Yeah. And there's bare youths I know like that. So people... Like, they're not really road. You weren't... Like, you get me? You're selfish. And that's what I'm talking about. You're selfish.
I agree with that, But you see, like, when I look at all relationships that happen overseas, like, even in Ghana, like, people are really content. Yeah. People are actually really... Don't get me wrong, you've got opportunists. You've got qualified opportunists there that would literally have their scheme ready by the time you land. But I'm talking about a man that may work as a taxi driver and his wife sells waffle or whatever.
Yeah.
What country?
In Ghana.
It's only because Amazon ain't selling their hard yet. The selfishness will come there. That's the thing. You're talking about places that are affected geographically by the fact that they've not been affected by what England's affected. So you reckon we had 24-hour supermarkets, cash points everywhere, Amazon, Uber Eats, all these things that remove the necessity of someone around that's making banku. You see what I'm trying to say? But then once you remove those things, that's the fabric of your community. Like, you know, you can go to this woman's house, get your hair done. Go to that woman's house, you get food. Go to this man's house, you get your car fixed. Go to that man's house, oh, he's got this plant and that. You got all these different places, you get me? So as a result of that, you know that if you go to this particular place, you're going to get this, and then you end up having a community. Everything's transactional now, and everything's in one place, and it's all on your phone. So the very same place you post up these dumb selfies of yourself.
So basically, it's based upon the actual
selfish.
Yeah, but what you just said there was key about the Amazon thing. So essentially, where there's more opportunities to work and more opportunities to make money, where it's more automated. So for example, like Ghana's got Uber Eats. More Westernized in a sense. Ghana's got Uber Eats now. They've got Uber as well, although it's cash in hand. So are you saying when that comes into play, if it does,
that'll change.
Relationships will change in a sense.
100%.
Okay.
100%. It won't happen straight away.
I think it still happened. Like there's that side of Ghana that is very like.
I don't just mean Ghana. I mean everywhere.
Yeah, but I feel there's that side of like that are about opportunists and transactional blah blah blah. But there, like what you said, I think there is just some wholesome people.
Yeah, like
that have a. But that's what I said. I feel also that's their standard. Like that woman is content. Making broth for her every morning, putting it on her head, literally selling it. She gets a certain amount of money where she can do certain things. Her guy, they've got a house. Some people are like okay with that, and it's like we have each other, we have our kids are healthy, we're good. And
she's also older.
No, there's some like.
And when she dies, half these young people won't go to her funeral because they're going to be too busy doing what they're doing.
But then who's raising these young kids to think like that?
Yeah,
no one. That's the thing. No one is.
Wait. Another conversation.
No. Wait. Let me answer. Nobody is, because those same parents that were raising them, they're busy doing what they're doing to keep the bills paid and all the rest of it. So everyone's kind of just in the same pool, getting misled by all these apps.
So it's like plugging them into it. Like I know what you mean. Because even with my son, I didn't want him to do full days at nursery because I was like, hold on. You're going to be in the system from 9 to 6 o'clock every single day. And I'm only going to spend how much time with you in the evening before you go to bed? Like, you will go to bed, 8:30? Sometimes even earlier than that.
Because you'd be tired,
You'd be tired, And then it's like, I've only got you, for 2 hours of the day, but the system has got you for 8 hours of the day. That's tired. So I feel like, and I get that, but obviously, I'm just looking at the standard and I think, you know what? We haven't set one based upon how you can see the next generation. So, for example, when I say we, obviously, I know we're a bit younger, but like probably say people in their late 50s, and obviously our parents' generation.
After 45, you're not changing your ways to adjust to this. They don't even care. You try to have this conversation with anyone over 45, they don't care. They'll just say they don't know what you're talking about. And the funny thing is, that same person saying you don't know what you're talking about, that same person might not even be proficient enough to use eBay, but they're asking you to do it for them. You see what I'm saying? That's what older people do.
Hey, I'll tell you.
And I know this. I know this because of my age and kind of what I'm in between. So some people get stuck in their ways. So you can't even have this discussion with certain old people this long. You'll try to tell them that, and they'll kind of like, they won't fully understand it because they come from a completely different time. They were young when there was the world that they're living in was based upon, I don't know, how they made money their time building sites and man working on like building houses, It's not really like that now.
I think it's all down to like what you're saying, role models, and I think it's like something I saw the other day online with Lin May, and I've seen she's been interviewing quite. I know you don't like her, but I do. I feel like
I never said I don't like her,
but it's one of them ones where I like the stuff she's doing with Link Up, with interviewing those like successful entrepreneurs, because I mean there was a back and forth with some other artists the other day.
Rimsey and Langtef. Say the name.
No, I don't think it was even that situation. Because she was talking about that was about the shows getting cancelled and something. Yeah.
Shout out Young Tef, I agree with you. Yeah. But go ahead.
I didn't look into that, but I kind of, when Young Tef was saying what he was saying, I kind of thought like, cool, I get it. You know, it's not Anyway, I'm talking about the role models, and she was just saying, obviously, she interviews those kind of people because she wants the other kids to know that there is another way in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's other people that you can look up to and whatnot. And I feel like maybe that's something maybe I should do, is have people that are in relationships that have got standards. They don't have to be like anyone big. It could just be an average Joe.
Now, son of that, bro. I keep it real.
Why not?
You see, like how I said before, that everyone's trying to like monetize their trauma. It's the same thing with relationships. Everyone's trying to like monetize their relationship as well.
Yeah, but not necessarily.
What I mean is, you start doing that thing where you start putting your relationship on front street. You start putting it under unnecessary pressure. Because other people then start looking at you as like some kind of role model. Everyone's relationship's different. Everyone's got their own different way of doing things. Certain things that you might do things ain't the way I do things, vice versa. And what happens is, let there be one time you make a mistake, and all the people that was agreeing with you last week turn around and say, I never had faith in them anyway, and like deep down, everyone knows what's right and what's wrong. But yourself.
This is one thing I 100% agree.
Like I'm not like I don't want to know about your relationship, fam. Like I don't want to see your relationship goals. Like I like Nipsey Hussle and all of that, but I am actually disgusted at the fact that most people started to know Nipsey Hussle after he was with Lauren London. That makes me profusely sick, because I know that I listened to Nipsey Hussle from like his Crenshaw mixtape and all them things there, like back in the day.
But do you feel that's a bad thing or a good thing?
A bad thing, because what that means is it comes under that whole thing of
relationship goals.
Yeah, that, but also the whole thing of like, I hate that phrase, behind every successful black man is a strong black woman and all that stuff. I hate that phrase. I'll tell you why I hate it. I'm not saying you can't have two strong couples, so what, I weren't shit without this woman behind me, helping me. You get what I'm trying to say? You weren't even going out of her them times when you made Crenshaw, so what, you weren't shit then? Is that what you're saying?
No, but you see,
that's what it feels like.
No, I hear what you're saying.
That's why certain people voted for Barack Obama.
Some people might have not. Some people might have been in Nipsey's world, or Nipsey's how can I put it? Some people might have been in a certain world where Nipsey was trying to go into like crypto, for example, and may have not known of Nipsey until they saw him in a public figure, and now they're able to use that and make it. You know what I'm saying? That's like Jay-Z seeing these mixtapes and then buying. Like the $100 mixtape and buying how many of them, and then that took off to whatever.
That's like me living on Brixton Hill and only hearing about 6-7 because they're on Link Up TV. These times I live on Brixton Hill.
Yeah, but it depends what you're doing with 6-7.
No,
you know what's
but the point is,
like,
it's in your neighbourhood, fam. We wait for people to become celebrities to listen. I shouldn't have to wait till you're famous to listen to you about your advice on, say, buying a house. You just told me you own a house. I don't need to wait for you to have 1 million subscribers on YouTube and be a celebrity or be on whatever TV show for me to finally, okay, I'm going to listen to you now. You had a house the whole time. And that's what I'm saying. I don't like that. And another example, Papoose and Remy Ma. All these women coming out of the woodwork saying, oh yeah, I love this Papoose and... No, you don't.
That's just because they're going on Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But they haven't...
The thing is, I see where he's coming from in the sense of that. How would we learn about good relationships if we don't hear or speak?
You've got to know.
But I get where you're coming from in the sense of...
I'll answer that.
I get where you're coming from in the sense of...
You're talking about the result. If it goes left, not if it goes left, the way people receive things.
You got a brethren in a relationship similar to Papoose and Remy Ma right now.
Yeah, but what he's trying to say
but people wait until they're famous to care about them. That's what I'm saying.
No, but he's saying that we need to hear from those people, though.
Yeah.
And we don't even need to hear from them together. You could just hear from either one of them.
I say you do.
And how do you guys make it work?
But most of us already do, though. That's what I'm saying. You got a brother, you got a cousin, you got a brethren, and all the rest of...
You know what?
No, some of us do.
When you chat to certain people, because it's like, you see like what you just said there, when I was chatting to one of my brothers about, we was talking about girls and whatnot, and we was talking about options and whatnot, and I was just saying, they were like, oh, what kind of girls do you look for? And I said, you know what, for me personally, I look at what they do. So the looks for me is one thing, but I'm not going to see a girl and be like, oh my God, she's buff, and then that's all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might look at her and say, alright, she's pretty, what does she do? If I find out that there's nothing there, even like if I'm looking on, say for example, if I'm looking at a dating profile, and I can't even see anything to do with like, you know, like when they say, job description, or a full-time mum, or full-time whatever. Like, I look to see what they're about. Do you see where I'm coming from? I feel like they were more like, well, if she's buff, then Like, it was always going back to the looks. Well, right, she's buff though. Yeah, but she's buff though. And I'm like, yeah, but this is the problem. You know what's there? Because she could be buff with no substance. And then you get with her. Do you see where I'm coming from? Whereas my standards only been set via bad experiences and learning from them. Now, what I'm saying is that, like, for example, I was saying to them, when my son gets to a certain age, yeah, I'm going to treat him the same way I'll treat my daughter. So I would tell my daughter, don't go out there and look for no man and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, until you've done all of this, X, Y, and Z, studying, whatever. The same with my son. I'm going to tell him, you don't need to play the field. Because essentially, playing the field is cool for you to get your experience, but the result of that negatively is that you get scarred. So you go through 200 girls, 300 girls, you get to your 30s now, and you can't settle because you've seen so much of the other side, you won't be able to trust them ever again. So you're seeing you're seeing certain girls that appear to be good, that appear to do the right thing.
Yeah,
and then you settle with them, yeah, but because you're the one that's on the side while she's with the good guy, you're thinking, blood, she could be good like this, but then she might have a next man like me.
It's kind of like telling a man don't do a test paper before an exam, man. You find out what you find out, blood. You get like, you can't tell man not to take a test paper, fam.
No, yeah, but think about it. At the same time, we're just repeating the same mistake. Because if you look at our age groups, how much of our age groups are in stable relationships?
That's true, cuz.
To a point where it's working. Not like I'm there because I'm known in 16 or I'm there because he's got my youth.
You know the issue is, it goes back to the same thing I said at the beginning. People are selfish.
Right.
And you can't knock your son for finding it out from 200 different people and then him not having trust.
No, not knock him. I'm talking about obviously in terms of encouragement, because there might be a time where he might come to me. Like, there's times when I was younger, and I mean, I didn't go to my dad because, you know, my dad wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you ever had like a Ghanaian father, there's no father and son time talking about sex. It's kind of like, they act like you're not even going to have a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, they act like you're just going to grow old to like 40 and they're going to pick one for you from the fridge or the shelf. But I feel like...
Massive fridge.
That's how they see it. They see it as like, you know, just focus on your books, just focus on your studies. You're like, yeah, well, I've done that. I'm 21 now. In my studying time, I focus on girls as well. What do I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I had this conversation with my dad the other day, my dad was just saying to me that, like, obviously, they weren't even trained to even have a relationship with your parents to even talk like that. So naturally, they just thought that we will figure it out because we're in London, and London's supposed to be this place of greatness and whatnot. It's actually the worst. You know what's there? Yeah, it's actually the worst. But
I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with London. I just think people's intent, people's motivations, they get exposed by what this country has to offer. So even if there wasn't Amazon or Uber or all these things, yeah, like, eventually, and I think you said something like this, these things will come out later on anyway. You get what I'm trying to say? It just exposes it. So all these places that doesn't have the same kind of infrastructure this country has, it may seem like it's a better place. The corruption just ain't got there yet. You get me? Like, even Eddie Murphy made the joke, like, you know, when he has the woman and he brings her over to England and then she gets corrupted by the women over here and all the rest of it. See, Eddie, suck my dick, Eddie. I want half.
Yeah.
You get me? So you can get them from Mars. Let them come over here and some Mars chick is gonna want alimony from.
Yeah, but
it is what it is, cuz.
Yeah, but then but also you got to look at culture, innit? And I feel like when we go Dubai and Abu Dhabi,
# Martians are trash.
You know, if you met one before, you know, there's a lot of people out here that claim to meet aliens. But it's like, I hear what you're saying. Don't get me wrong, yeah. But I feel like when we go Abu Dhabi, we kind of know how to pattern. You know, if you're out there fighting in Dubai, it's peak for you if you get nicked. So I feel like when we go to certain places with England's got this idea of like, okay, you got this free culture, so you can date anyone you want. And there's better choice here, don't get me wrong. You got Chinese girls, you can date Asian girls, Arab girls, whatever. But I feel because there's so much choice and options, it takes you away from your culture naturally, and then you lose your guidance. So this is what I'm saying, like Mars is saying, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, I think I'm scared that my future children will not be in relationships. Like, they will have kids, but I don't think there'll be like a new... If I'll be honest. I genuinely feel that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be like... People are just going to have kids. But I don't think there's going to be like families. I think long term it's just going to be... You just have a kid and you'll be fine.
It's already happened to me.
I think that's what's going to be normality. I don't think there's going to be like what our parents had or some people's parents had. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's just going to be people are just going to have children. They're going to have short-term relationships, long-term relationships, and because everybody's always looking for better. And I 100% agree with you that the phone hasn't helped. I think that's been the destruction of relationships and everything because there's positive there, but there's negative. The negative, I think, for me, is just this relationship goals. Everybody wants more options. There's something better. It's like, and where before we didn't have the phone, so you just couldn't. You meet somebody, you get good vibes, you guys settle down, and it's like, if I meet somebody else, fine. I'm gonna maybe take some time to date them as well, but. This is like, oh no, I could swipe. But I genuinely feel like it's our children or children's children are just not going to be in like, it's going to be like, let's have a kid and we'll try and make it work. But like co-parenting is going to be more normal than marriage and family.
Look, that's
my grandson's 4. I reckon.
Wait, what? Your grandson?
You heard.
We'll talk offline.
I already know. I can only imagine some of the girls this boy's gonna meet when he's like, say, a teenager. Yeah. Some of these girls are already gonna have been sexually active with other girls.
Yeah.
Some of his friends are gonna be. Some of his friends are gonna be gay. Some of them are going to be trans.
Or... I better be going to Mars.
Yeah, I'm not saying nothing wrong with any of that.
You see, I think it's going to be... Here's the other disclaimer. I just literally said these are the kind of things that my grandson will encounter when he gets to 15. And I just laid out a few things. And this is you. There's nothing wrong with that. Who the fuck said there was?
But you said encounter. The way is the way you framed it.
No.
No.
This is
you said encounter like it's a bad. No. Like it's a wrong thing.
No.
Bad thing.
This is the insecurity that this country has right now.
No, insecure.
No, it is. No.
I'm about equality.
Let me explain. I'm going to repeat what I said. I said these are the things. These are the kind of people that my son is going to encounter. I mean, my grandson's going to encounter. Like I said, women that say, for example. Like I said, they've had a relationship with another woman. All these other things. Yeah? Those are what he's going to encounter because of like where we are today in society. And instantly, this is what you said, there's nothing wrong with that. But no one said there was. But here's what's interesting about you pointing that out.
Yeah.
Because you said there was a difference between today's society when, you're talking to people and we don't have the phone and da-da-da-da-da-da. So you know the difference between that. But you can't necessarily see the difference between what I'm saying regarding what my grandson's now going to encounter. Because when we was 4, we never encountered that when we got to, say, 15, 16. Those things were unheard of. You weren't necessarily meeting a girl and she's telling you, oh, I also date girls. You didn't necessarily have a brethren who was gay and all the rest of it.
There was.
No, you didn't necessarily encounter that. In mass, let's keep it 100.
Because there's no phone. Because there was no phone. That's why it's not in mass.
No, but the point...
It's like it will be a conversation.
No, but the point is, we never had those discussions. Those things didn't really exist to the majority of us.
No, well, for me, but for me, you saw people, like, there was certain guys or even girls where you knew they were attracted to the same sex, but I'm not gonna put on. I didn't have a phone, so we're not gonna talk about it. We're most probably not even gonna talk. No,
those things never happened as in mass in comparison to today. And how do I know this? Because even today, what do people call that time? A homophobic period.